Hey guys, so in today's video I am going to be doing something, I'm going to start something actually, hopefully that I can do over the next 12 months, and that is a sort of maternity money diaries. So the goal of these videos is to show how one mum, me, who's now a new mum of a nearly 4-week-old baby boy, to talk about what I'm doing during my maternity leave in terms of my pay and budgeting and all the things that I have to consider. I'm doing these videos because, as you may know, if you're a woman who's been on maternity leave before, most of us don't get our full pay throughout maternity leave. We may not get any kind of pay, we may just get the statutory maternity pay. So I just wanted to give people some ideas of things that they need to consider potentially if they've got a maternity leave coming up, or if they're in that already. Any dads, men watching this, dads to be, or any of you who may be dads already, this may also be helpful to you to help any women in your life. I already have this on my website, so I'm doing a blog on a monthly basis in the same way for those of you who prefer website versus videos. So I've linked that down below if you prefer that form of content. But yeah, I hope these videos will be helpful and give you some ideas roughly of what to consider, what to think about. But also, if you haven't already seen my other maternity video, then do check that out. In that video, I discuss a bit more what you may be entitled to, and it's a bit more detailed in terms of what maternity leave may look like in general, whereas this video is a bit more personal to me, but again, just to share some ideas. So my first maternity pay, I forgot to say, I'm taking a year off of work, and so my maternity pay will change from month to month because it's based on what my package is kind of from my employer. So the first 6 weeks, which is standard in the UK, you generally get 90% of your pay. So during my first maternity pay, I got 90% of my pay, which of course is definitely pretty good, and it's the best pay I will get throughout my entire maternity leave. It happened to coincide with the Christmas period, which obviously is the most expensive time of the year in terms of, getting things for Christmas and stuff like that, but also with the energy prices being hiked up and December being particularly cold, as you probably know if you're in the UK, that was something new to navigate. So although I was glad that it was 90% of my pay, it kind of needed to be 90% of my pay because it was the most expensive month of the year for me and my family personally. So the first thing that I needed to make sure that was done was putting 20% of my income towards our emergency fund. So in the previous months, we had some things crop up that took away some of the money from our emergency fund. So it was really important to top that back up and put some money towards that. So an emergency fund is important at the best of times, but certainly really important when you're looking at reduced pay. And if unexpected expenses come up or reduced pay, then an emergency fund will be an absolute lifesaver. So this is something that I knew had to be topped back up, and it still will be continue to be topped back up, but that was where 20% of my income had to go in the month of December. As I mentioned before, December turned out to be really cold. We had that cold spell, and that meant, of course, keeping the house warmer, using more energy, but also because the days are shorter, you're not just using more gas, you're using more electricity to have the lights on, etc. And you're home a lot more, and I certainly was, because I was about to drop any moment. So you're home more, you're using more energy in the house, and that meant that our December energy bill was higher than I even envisioned it being. So to give you an idea, our December utility bill was £172 more than our November bill, so more in addition. So it was over £400, and so this needed to be accounted for when budgeting the money for the month of December. The third thing is Monzo pots. So I have 2 videos about Monzo pots already on my channel. It's something I preach about, live by. It's really helped us with our budgeting and keeping on top of our finances. So I will always recommend these. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then feel free to head over to those videos. I go in a lot of detail and I show you exactly how we use them for our budgeting. But yeah, in the month of December, it was no different to usual, so we had to put aside money into our Monzo pots for things like our car insurance, which we pay annually, our house insurance, which we pay annually, birthdays, which we put money aside each month for this, our Christmas fund, what else? Our MOT and car service fund, and our baby fund now, which I will talk a bit more about later on. Now, the fourth thing on this list is a mortgage overpayment. So for about the past 6 months or so now, we have been overpaying our mortgage a little bit each month. It does make sense for us personally in the current climate because interest rates are going up. Even though we're still on a lower interest rate, overpayments are being made just in case when we have to remortgage, we are going to a higher interest rate. So we're just trying to bring down our mortgage principal as much as possible. But also it's kind of done as an additional emergency fund, I guess you could say. So if, for instance, when my maternity pay goes down to nothing, at which at some point it will during my maternity leave, if for whatever reason things are tight that month because my husband is self-employed, then we could potentially pay a little less towards our mortgage in that month because we have overpaid in previous months. So it's kind of an extra buffer. We hope to not use it at all for that, but it's a just in case and just another way of protecting yourself. Of course, there'd be an emergency fund as well, but it's just another additional way just to be as prepared as possible in a worst case scenario. The fifth thing is baby stuff. So as I said, we have a Monzo pot now for a baby fund, and this is just a way to have some extra cash for things that are unexpected. You know, having a child does mean things don't necessarily go to plan, and we've already tapped in to that baby fund to buy some things that we forgot to buy before he came. It's just been a helpful fund to have. So this is something that I would recommend for anyone who is having a child. Have a baby fund set aside. We put £100 a month into this, but you know, it could be £20 a month for you, or it could be £200 a month for you, to just create that extra buffer. So when things unexpectedly crop up for your baby, you've got a specific fund for that. I don't think you can have too many safety blankets just to cover yourself during your maternity leave. And the sixth thing that I wanted to address is investing. So I'm still contributing to my employer pension, which is a form of investment during my maternity leave. I didn't cut that off. So that's something that's still being invested in. But in terms of our stocks and shares ISA, this will be something that we hope to invest in. We were able to invest in the month of December, which was great. But as my income tailors off throughout the year, it may be something that has to go on the back burner. It makes me kind of sad because I do like investing every month and seeing that investment portfolio grow. However, I'm also fully open and aware that life has seasons. So investing in our stocks and shares ISA may not be a top priority this year. Well, it won't be in terms of, you know, paying our bills will be the top priority, and looking after our son, of course, will be the top priority. If we are able to afford investing also, then we will, but we're not going to break our backs over it. We're not going to lose sleep over it. So I thought this was important to address. If you do have to make some changes during this year or during your time off for maternity leave, don't be hard on yourself. Getting through maternity leave is an achievement in itself. So it may not be investing for you, it may be something else, putting money towards like a house deposit or putting money towards a holiday that you've always wanted to do. Maybe that has to be put on hold for a while. But you know, again, seasons. Just go with the seasons, embrace what you're going through right now. But yeah, I thought this was important to mention, and I'll keep you posted in the months ahead if we are able to invest, if we're not. But as I said, for December, we were able to put, I think maybe £300-400 aside, not as much as usual, but still something. So yeah, I'll keep you posted in the future months. So that's it for the month of December in terms of how money was kind of divvied up, other than the usual ways and the things that were needed to be considered for the months ahead. If you found this useful, then do let me know in the comments below. And if you're in a similar position yourself, let me know what it is that you're personally doing to get through maternity leave. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining and watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video real soon.